Hi, everybody. Welcome to Tea Time with Bunky. I was trying out something new. We're doing this non-copyrighted music so we don't get flagged and nothing happened. I hope you enjoyed it. Let me know what you think about it. Let me know what you think about it. Let me take these tags off. I would like to thank everyone who's tuned in tonight. I would like to thank all of my Tea Time with Bunky subscribers and followers. You all have been telling a friend and telling a friend. Make sure you like and comment, interact with us tonight. A big thank you out to my little big brothers in the podcasting family in the studio with the Rec Boys that are always there for me. Special shout out to Mr. Anthony Covington from Too Humble Productions. He was supposed to come on last week, right when the show started. All my power went out, electricity, internet, everything went out. So that's why that show was shut down really quick, but it's rescheduled for next week. So tonight's guest, let me see. Tonight's guest is Miss Ayanna Williams-Thomas. She is so zen, y'all. She is so like I totally needed her spirit today. Let me tell you, I needed that. Let me tell you a little bit about Ayanna. She is the proud owner of Aya. She'll correct me. She'll correct me. Earth Wellness. Her life journey to optimal health and wellness began at the rare age of 13. Yeah, I didn't know what I was doing with myself at 13 when she read book Heal Thyself by Queen. All these people, I'm not going to say some of it because she'll say it because I don't want to say it wrong and be disrespectful. By the Queen, she'll say This inspired her to learn and absorb information about holistic health. Ayanna is currently a sacred woman practitioner. Can't wait to hear about that. A massage therapist in the making. Yoni Steam practitioner. We're gonna talk about that a little bit. Yeah, that yeah. Heal Thyself Holistic Practitioner, artisan of organic skincare, and an advocate of growing your own health through, there's another word, I'm going to say it wrong, so she'll say it, vertical gardens. Health is wealth. Let's get rich. For information, you can contact her via IG at Empress Ayana or via email, and I'll have her email scrolling across the screen. So without further ado, welcome,
Greetings.
Ayana. Greetings.
How
Greetings.
are you?
I'm better now. I'm better now. Thank you. We planned this a while ago, but a lot of stuff has been going on. A lot of stuff has
Absolutely.
been yes, it has, but you made time for me and I appreciate you. I always appreciate you actually. Cuz you're just so, you know, it's like, and that was one of my no, let outside, is there anything that you want the people to know that I didn't read about before we get into all of my questions and things?
No,
Anything you want?
I'm just I would just like for us to flow. Just let
Oh,
it flow.
oh, okay, so we're gonna flow. So
No script. Let's flow.
so you said this journey because I had wanted to know when did this start for you? Because it seemed like one summer I was down in Jersey, you was just regular little Ayana. Next thing I know, you were different. You know, not in a bad way, but you were different. So you said this happened at 13 after you read this book. Like what was it? Well, first of all, could you give her name correctly?
Oh yes, yes.
Okay.
Queen of Four.
See, I would have said that wrong. Queen of War.
Queen of Four has been a holistic practitioner for
Mhm.
over 50 years.
Okay.
So with that being said, she has over 8 books, some New York Times bestsellers, but the first book that ever graced my presence was called Heal Thyself.
Mhm.
So at the age of 13, I didn't quite grasp all of the concepts from her book, but
Mhm.
it was so impactful just talking about your diet and as a woman taking care of your body, talking about your womb and um, just overall that whole mind, body, spirit
Mhm.
aspect of how to conduct your lifestyle.
Uh-huh.
So with that being said, I was just like, okay, I don't understand everything, but I can grasp some of the concepts and start to apply it to what I'm doing on the day
Mhm.
to day. So, yeah, so probably it was my sophomore year in high school. I decided to become vegetarian, so I stopped eating meat, and that was the start of my wellness journey.
You stopped eating meat in high school. Wow. Now how one of my questions was for those that don't know that will be watching this. Ayana is my cousin. She's actually my second cousin. Her mom is my first cousin on my dad's side. So I want to know because I saw pictures, what I didn't know. Did Aunt Sis always practice oh my God. Why did it just I got the COVID brain. Oh Lord Jesus. This is terrible. Because I don't do the holiday. What is it? The holiday after Christmas. What is that? What is that?
New Year's,
Huh?
New
No, no, no. The black holiday. The black holiday.
oh,
Y'all, I sound so crazy.
Kwanzaa,
Qua
Kwanzaa.
COVID brain. I feel so crazy. Did Aunt Sis always did she always practice that or did you get her into that? Because you guys were Catholic.
No, we actually were Kwanzaa was introduced to our family, through Uncle Bobby
I know, Kenya.
and Joyce's husband.
Uh-huh.
Brought the whole concept of Kwanzaa to our family and introduced it to us during one of the Christmas celebrations.
Okay.
Yeah,
Uh,
so my grandmother, she normally would just do Christmas and then the New Year's celebration and New Year's gathering. But
mhm.
again, that New Year celebration, the last day, New Year's Day is actually the last day of Kwanzaa.
Kwanzaa.
So it was perfect. It was a perfect segue into our family being introduced into the holiday.
Oh, wow. Okay,
Yeah.
because I don't really know because I'm like, okay, 'cause I don't really.
I'll never forget that night. I can't speak all of the details of it, but Uncle Bobby, he had the floor and he talked about Kwanzaa and the first day, the principal Umoja, and I'll never forget distinctly Uncle Andrew.
Uncle
He
Andrew.
did not take too well to
I
the
couldn't have.
introduction of Kwanzaa to the family. And I will never forget that moment. It was hilarious.
So you guys don't know my Uncle Andrew, but the people that she's mentioning, Uncle Andrew was hilarious. Uncle Andrew was so funny. He was so funny. And you always have one side of your family that you're around more. And with me, it was my mom's side. So when I got the chance to come around, it was like a different experience. It was like, um, how do I describe it? When I go with my mom's side, it's how can I say this correctly? It's like churchy, electric slide. When I describe my dad's side, I said it's the Soul Train line. Like that's because there's always like a Soul Train
The
line.
Wild Bunch.
Yeah, I love it. It's just like so my Uncle Andrew for you guys, our Uncle Andrew, he was hilarious. So I can imagine some of the things he said. But we'll just go back. Now, back to you and all of your wonderful things. The wellness, you talked about the growing your own food. I remember during COVID, I saw you growing your plants, your vertical plants, and you eat all natural stuff. And I call you there's always a way I describe people, and I call you my Mother Earth cousin. I'm like, this is my Mother Earth cousin. Like, that's not offensive, right?
No, I don't
No,
take offense to
no,
it.
because I go to you if I wanna know something, like, I'm not a holistic person, and I need to know, and you're on here to help educate me about all this stuff, and we're gonna talk about your products. I don't I eat meat. I do everything probably I'm not supposed to do. So, talk a little bit about what the importance of eating doing the natural, earthly
I
foods
would
versus
say everything you do it at a level of consciousness. So
okay,
everyone is not going to go plant-based. That's a fact. We know this.
right.
However, just having that mindfulness of what you are consuming, looking
Mindfulness,
at your
right.
body from a different aspect, when you start to look at your body as from the cellular level, you start to be more mindful. Okay, what I'm eating, is it actually feeding and nourishing those cells, or is it depleting my cells?
Mhm,
So, case in point, when you eat certain things, you're energized, you're vibrant. You eat certain things, you're tired, you're sluggish, you want to lay down. So,
mhm.
just be mindful of that and know, like, okay, maybe I need to just shy away from this a little bit more. Or what I tell a lot of people to do is take those side dishes like your vegetables and your grains and put a lot of that, pile that on your plate. And then those whatever protein you choose, i.e., any type of animal product, minimize it. So make that your smaller portion. Just making certain shifts during your daily regimen will definitely help improve upon your overall health state. So I don't like to get into different categories of um, basically like I'm vegetarian, I'm vegan, I'm this, I'm that. I like to use the term plant based, but I wasn't always plant-based, and there's times where I've deviated from that path as well. So I haven't done that from age 13 till now. No,
Mm.
I have not. I've had times where I've gone off the path, but then I've gotten back on it because I know how it makes me feel. And
Mhm.
also too, I want to have longevity. I don't want health issues. There are certain health issues that people in the family tend to develop. I don't want to develop those issues. So what I'm doing is I know is allowing me to hopefully preserve myself.
Mhm.
And yeah, it's just more so just making sure that I do my best each day, put my best foot forward to have optimal wellness.
Now, what is the difference? I mean, it may sound like duh to you, like what I'm about to ask, but you're talking to someone who doesn't. I eat whatever I want, which is unhealthy most of the time. But what is the difference between just plant based food versus being a vegetarian? Like, what is the difference, and
I
which
would
is better?
I would say I wouldn't compare because you have to start somewhere and your journey is yours. So some people have different perspectives
Hmm.
that they um resonate with. So you have a group of people who um they're like, okay, as long as I don't eat any animal products, then that's it. That's also those are the vegans, and they more so even come from a standpoint of activism. So those are the people that you'll see at slaughterhouses out there with signs and things of that nature. Then
Hmm.
you have your group of people who are like, okay, I will eat I won't eat meat, but I may eat something that does have an animal product in it. So some vegetarians will eat eggs. They'll consume milk. They'll consume products that were derived from animals, but it's just not the meat of the animal. So those are the different categories. And then you have some people who are would just say I'm plant based. Those are the people who more so you just want to eat actual greens. You want to eat vegetables and grains. You don't want to even consume like those imitation meats and things of that nature. So I try to just say plant based just to not put myself in any type of box, because when you put yourself in a box, then you in a way you're kind of governed by certain rules, and I don't have time for all of that. My thing is look at your overall wellness
Hmm.
and do what's best for you. Some
Hmm.
people like for instance vegans, they won't touch honey because bees made honey. So again,
Is that considered? That's
I,
a bug.
I don't do all of that. They could,
Yes,
so you get what I mean. So it's just
they're
it
doing
gets
the most.
away. Some of those groups can almost become a little bit judgmental, and so I don't want to be associated with judging people
Yeah,
because everyone has to start somewhere.
right.
So I can relate because I grew up eating everything under the sun.
Me
Everything from the rooting
good
to the
too.
and but I also know about making choices to
Right.
eliminate those things out of my diet, or minimize to eliminate, and then baby steps.
Hmm.
So yeah, like I tell people, start somewhere, and this is a no judgment zone. So
Right. There's people that do extra in everything. Everything you do, there's always a group that's gonna do too much. It there is, like, with everything and so, but I didn't know that it was
there's so many levels. I don't even want to get into the
right.
alkaline diet because that's a whole nother
I never
level.
even heard of that, like
Plant-based, there's a group of people who only eat alkaline, so they only eat foods that have a pH of a 7 or higher, and if the food does not have that pH, then it's acidic, so they won't even consume things that are acidic. So yeah, it's just it goes. I try to just I have an acronym, KISS. Keep it simple, sister, or keep it simple, sir. Let's keep it simple.
They
That
sound
way it
like they
become
skinny.
overwhelming.
Uh-huh.
I said, "We keep it simple so that way it doesn't become overwhelming."
'Cause yeah, that's overwhelming.
Yeah,
I've never heard of that.
yes.
Like, those people probably super skinny. They probably starving to death. Like, it's no disrespect to alkaline people, please don't come for me. Okay? So, like, I never even heard it. So, I can imagine if there's it's crazy. Alright, you we were gonna talk about but just wait, 'cause when you sent me your bio, I said I said, what is a Yoni Steamer? What?" I'm like I said, "A Yoni steam practitioner? What is that?" I'm like, "I don't even we don't even" you explained it to me, but we don't have to go into it, but I'm sure there's people that are like, "What is that? What?"
Well, your yoni is that's a
Yoni.
the yoni is a
Is it
Sanskrit word for your womb space. So it's crazy that um, we don't focus enough on that. We're not taught that,
and
a lot
that is
of times, and it's so important because
yes.
for women, and this is part of the teachings that I've learned from Queen of Four, your womb, that's your seed of creation. Not
Yes.
only do we birth children, but we also birth ideas. So that space is so sacred. And
Mm,
with that being said, just the steaming is herbs, choice herbs, depending on why you want to steam or detoxify your womb space.
mhm.
So some women they just want to do it as more of a maintenance. So um, sometimes on a monthly basis, you'll just get a choice set of herbs. Mugwort is a very popular herb that's used.
Mugwort?
Mugwort is a type of herb that's used. It's very common in a lot of blends, and it's very good to help to when that steam you're put on a gown and you sit over a pot, and usually there's some type of stool there, and then the pot has the herbs and the steam just comes up, and you have a gown on, so that steam is just steaming your yoni space, and it's like detoxifying, and you're sweating and you're releasing. It's a way also of purging and just releasing from that space, because a lot of times we hold on to a lot of emotions and things of that nature, and it affects our wombs. So it's
Oh.
it's an ancient practice. It's been around for ages.
Mm.
It's a indigenous practice. So you can find it across different cultures of women that do this practice. And
I
it's
s I
heaven on
saw
earth.
that.
It's heaven on earth.
I'll take your word for it. I'll take your word for it. I saw them do I didn't know what they were doing. I saw one of the housewives shows. I was like, what are they doing? Like, what is going on?" I didn't know. I'm so out of touch with stuff.
A
But
lot
I'll
of
take your word for it that it's really good.
definitely where you are and your wherever your location is, um, look up some of the Korean saunas, and
Uh-huh.
they'll probably offer it. Sometimes they call it a hip bath, but it's the same thing. It's yoni steaming. So definitely try it out. You have to try it at least once.
Look, I don't even get massages.
Oh, okay.
So, yeah, so I don't even
You're in
I
for a treat. You're in for a treat. No one has to touch you. So if
yeah, I don't
yes.
oh,
Mhm.
that's sounds okay. Alright. I don't know. Okay.
You don't
Your
know what you've been missing.
no, I probably don't. No, I know I don't because I okay, let's change the subject. We're gonna change it. You're a artisan of organic skincare. Now, this I know about you.
Yes.
This I know about you. Um, tell the people a little bit about or a lot about your skincare. Like
Well,
What is the important? Because your skin is beautiful. Your
oh,
s your skin is
thanks.
you're just, like, glowing. I'm like, "Oh."
Thanks. It's a combination. Skincare, it's not just external, it's also internal. So I always stress to any of my clients, you have to drink your water. Definitely eat your colors, eat those greens, eat those vibrant fruits and vegetables. So then your internal is good. Now we can deal with your external, because sometimes what's going on inside is coming out. It's starting to come
And your
through
skin, okay.
your skin. So I started a line back in 2011.
Mhm.
Um, I was encouraged to it is interesting. I just wanted to make some gifts for the holidays, and those gifts were so well received. A good friend of mine was running a small home based natural hair care salon, and she was like, "Girl," I gifted her some of the products. She was like, "Girl, my clients would love this stuff, and I need more of this." And so I was like, "Okay, I'll make a few more." So at the time, I started out with some whipped body butter, body oil, some um, what else? Oh, bath salts. And it just started from there. And then eventually I took some classes to learn about soap making. And I was able to then couple it all together and create a line of products. So everything is plant-based, it's organic, and it's just divine. It just makes your skin feel great. The different aromas that I've chosen, it helps to it perks you up as well. So
Mhm.
now it's like it's just that overall aesthetic of the smell, the feel, and yeah, and just the naturalness of it is just
Now, was it a lot of trial and error? Because I'm like, how do you know what works? Like, if you put something together and you try to use it and it doesn't lather right or it breaks you out, like, how do you know what works and what doesn't? A lot of trial and error?
definitely a lot of trial and error. I've created all of my formulations. So definitely a lot of trial and error, a lot of research as well. When you're
Mhm.
interested in something, you just keep looking up information. And I have notebooks and notebooks full of notes. I've had products that I've created that never made it to the marketplace, but that I use for my own personal um satisfaction. So yeah, I guess I would say I'm still, as I grow and just try to find my footing. Um,
Mhm.
Now I've revamped the business, the focus, because I didn't want to just focus on the skincare. I used to have a slogan, "Natural treasures for your mind, body, and spirit," but I realized that it doesn't end there. People need to feel whole. So,
Yes.
so that's where I decided to then do some more research, get a couple of certifications, and just try to expand and create a wellness business, because I found myself at events. People would come up to me, we get to talking, and I'm doing a lot of it basically unofficial consulting.
Mm.
And I
I've
was
talked to you.
like, okay,
You're good.
let me just level up, take things up a notch, and be
Mhm.
able to offer more to my clients. So I had a vision of I did change the business name. So that's why I went from one business to now Aya Earth Wellness. I started out with Aya's Natural Treasures,
Mhm.
the original concept, but then Aya Earth Wellness, I wanted it to basically become like an umbrella of different resources.
Right.
So now I promote and I talk about growing your own food through a aeroponic vertical tower. I was able to literally grow a whole farmer's market in a corner space of my dining room. Amazing. I had the yield of what I was the yield was so much faster, and I do conventional gardening as well outside, but
Mhm.
I was like, "Oh my goodness, this is like awesome." So I decided to partner with the company and make that an
Oh,
offering for my
wow.
clients as well. So that was
Mhm.
one of the things. And that same company also offers, because we're not, even as a plant-based person, we're not getting enough um, fruits and veggies on a daily basis
Mhm.
according to what our intake should be. So with that being said, whole food nutrition in a capsule or a chewable form, that's another offering now to my clients. So yeah, it's just branching out and just trying to create again like a wellness hub for people to be able to, like, one-stop shop. So now, yes, you can get your, well, when I relaunch, because I haven't done the skincare products for over a year now.
Mm.
Life just a lot of
Right.
shit in my
Life's
personal life.
right.
So I had to shelf it, because if I'm going to do it, I have to give it my all. It's a
Right.
lot of energy and effort and love that goes into it. So I don't want to half step doing it. So
Right.
now that I'm becoming more settled in my new life, now I can go back to revamping and relaunching the skincare.
So you were talking about the intakes of the greens, the fruits, and all that stuff like that. But somebody like me, I can only talk about myself, who is I eat horribly. I do. I eat terrible. I Lord, I eat horrible. Let's just put it like that. So somebody like me should take the capsules, right? Because I know for a whole fact I don't eat healthy. In my mind, I want to, but it's so expensive, especially if you don't. But see, you shut that down because you talk about growing in your house,
Exactly. So
right? I'm like, it's
so everyone, it's like sometimes it's like as we grow and learn more about what is appropriate, what we should be doing, because there's a saying, we have to unlearn and relearn, because a lot of our programming started when we were this big.
and we were programmed,
We are literally programmed. So
right?
it's like changing. It's like at your job, if you get a new system has to be installed, then you're like, oh, I gotta learn this whole new system. That's what we have to do with our lives, basically, because a lot of what we were taught, a lot of things that are ingrained in us is not accurate.
Mhm.
And we don't, no judgment, but
Right? No judgment,
those who brought us up, they gave us what they had
right?
and probably what they were taught and
Right.
programmed into believing and thinking. So again, it's like we have to unlearn all that we've been taught and relearn. And when you start to do that, it just changes your whole level of consciousness.
Mhm.
So now that you have a different level of consciousness, you start to do things a little differently. So when you know better, you do better.
Yeah,
And
I was
again,
gonna say that, right,
baby
and
steps,
no right,
baby,
baby steps.
baby steps. So I would offer just a few different, like I said, the one thing about switching your portions. So portion control, of course,
Portion control.
putting more of the veggies and grains, a larger portion of that on your plate, and start to give yourself smaller portions of your different meats and things of that nature, your meats and your fish or whatever you decide to eat. So
Mhm.
that's one thing you could do. Secondly, drink more water. We don't drink enough water. Hydrate. Hydrate those cells. Some people are like, "Oh, water's so nasty." Get some coconut water then. Hydrate those cells.
I've never
Uh,
had that.
Try it. Get you
Never
some
had
organic coconut water. Try it out. Not the stuff that has all that added stuff in it. Just
mhm,
organic coconut water. Try it.
organic.
Um,
I'll try it.
Also, one of your meals out of the day, replace it with a fresh juice. Just one meal, a fresh juice or smoothie
That you make yourself.
that you make yourself, or you can purchase it, but it's expensive. So make it yourself. The price you may spend on one cup of juice, you can make enough juice for the week if you would just go to the farmer's market, or even now there's a chain of stores that we have called Aldi. They
Yeah.
have a huge organic section now of produce. So
Okay.
now you can go and grab bags of your organic apples or whatever it is, whatever your juice you want to make. So again, replace one meal out of your day with a fresh juice or smoothie blend.
So that totally dismisses my breakfast drinks that I that
Another suggestion, get at least 20 minutes a day of some type of physical activity. I don't
Mhm.
care if it's walking, maybe you put on a video, do a little bit of exercise, do some yard work, housework. I don't care what it is, but
Mhm.
you need to get moving
At
because
least 20 minutes.
at least
Okay.
20 minutes a day.
Okay.
Some type of movement.
Right. Okay. That I can do.
Okay.
The eating and I don't. And then I'm getting older too. Like I will be 52, and I'm like my eating habits are poor. They're poor, and I noticed that the older I get, the less I eat, which I don't know if that comes with age or what that is. Consciously, subconsciously, I'm doing things. I'm not eating because I'm in my mind. I'm so busy. It's not on purpose. It's not on purpose. And I'd be like, oh man, I don't know if you've ever done this. Like I forgot to eat yesterday. Like it'd be like a whole day and a half. And I've had my tea, or I do drink water throughout the day, but that'll be it. So, like, how do you fix that? How about yogurt?
Um,
Yogurt.
I I'm not a yogurt person, so I don't know. Like I do, if I do yogurt, it's a coconut milk based yogurt that I do. So I don't know what you're if you're taking a yogurt in because of the probiotics. See, I don't know why you're um
I just started because I could never eat it before, and then I
oh,
found a brand because I can't do dairy. So
okay.
I found a brand that I really like, and I'm like, I can take this. It doesn't affect me. It is probiotic, but it wasn't for nutritional value. It's just because I like the way it tastes.
So that's the thing. We are, unfortunately, we're programmed. A lot of times we're emotional eaters. So when you're craving certain things, take note of what emotional state you're in. So, uh,
Oh,
and then certain foods, they don't help with our. It doesn't help with your overall mood, your attitude, again, your energy levels. So just be
okay.
mindful of that.
That's a good point. I didn't think about what is going on when I eat that yogurt, when I'm really craving it. I got to pay attention because I'm not happy. My body's not satisfied until I get it. Once the craving hit, I'm
Mhm.
not satisfied until I get it. That's crazy. And I don't know. I got to pay attention. Now, let me ask you about this. You're currently a sacred woman practitioner. What is that?
Yeah, so one of Queen Afoa's bodies of work, she has a book out called Sacred Woman. Now, Sacred Woman is a book um, on its own, but there's also an opportunity because the book is there's so many levels and layers to this book. If you just sit down and open it to read, you will get so overwhelmed because there's so much information in there. So what she has is a 12 weeks rites of passage program that corresponds with the book. So now you're living the book. So it's so much easier to ingest what is going on in the book, and also life application.
Right.
So
Right.
after going through that 12-week rites of passage and being initiated into the Sacred Woman Global Village, I then took a practitioner course with the program. So as a practitioner under the leadership of Queen of Four, now we're taught how to then not only mentor women who are going to go through their rites of passage journey, we mentor them, but there's another whole other aspect in the community and a level of responsibility within the community where we're just trained in other modalities as well. So for instance, even when it comes to the whole eating aspect of things and how to be able to guide someone on how to stay on that path, again, the
Mhm.
holistic path with their nutrition, staying balanced using basically the elements of air, fire, water, and earth. Those are the elements that we tap into when it comes to our healing journey and our wellness journey. So there's again so many levels to the book as well as the program. So I'm giving you like a abbreviated version, but
Mhm.
it's definitely an amazing body of work, and I would highly recommend any sister to sign up and definitely get the book and take the class and go through the rites of passage.
And okay, and that's the book you was talking about, the Heal Thyself? Oh,
No,
no, the Rites of Passage. I
uh,
wanna get that down for people, put it on so people
so Sacred Woman,
okay.
it's a guide to healing the feminine body, mind, and spirit. So
So
this is
think
the book here.
cool.
And this book has just reached its 20th year anniversary.
Oh,
So
wow.
it's also a bestseller. And this body of work is just, it's impacted my life on so many levels. It's one of the only programs out there, not the book by itself, but this
The whole
taking the program, taking the whole package. It's one of the only bodies of work out there where you're literally held held accountable for taking control of your life and not blaming any of those outside factors or situations that impacted your life. No
mhm.
matter what, you're held accountable on how to work past it and to ascend.
That's why you're so that why you're so, like, so
It's
calm,
a
so
journey. It's not a
okay.
sprint. It has been a
Yeah.
journey, and I'm still on that journey and that path. So
Mhm.
it's just every day, just basically um every day, just aspiring to be the best version of yourself, and that's
Mhm.
what um my goal is.
Mhm.
Sometimes I don't meet the mark, but overall that's the goal of every day, just putting that best foot forward and basically again just wanting to be the best version of myself.
Now, do you ever, like, talk to other young women about this? Like, if you weren't my cousin and I didn't see you, I probably would have never had this kind of conversation with anybody. So how do you reach out to people to embrace this? Is it hard, or do you have to just be on the internet for people that aren't online, and won't come across this? Like, how do you reach out to people and gain their interest to want to be involved in such a lifestyle?
Mm, I I think it's just being who I am,
Mhm,
just being authentic.
mhm,
And when I do find myself in areas where I'm able to engage with people um, and share, if
mhm.
they're interested, they'll ask for more information, and that's
Right.
pretty much it. I don't. Yeah, it's more so. It's like you vibrate to certain people
Right.
because everything is energy. So
Right.
you're just gonna vibrate to certain people, and it's like
People gonna come and I get it. Like
you're
with anything. Like with
you on the same vibe, and you find your tribe, and you just
find
link
your
in.
tribe.
Yes, yes. So
That's cool.
it's a whole vibration to this. So
Oh, wow. That's deep. That's deep. Like, wow. I've never met anybody like that. Not around here anyway, not where I live. Because it's a whole different environment. It's totally not like where you guys are from. Totally different. Totally different. Now, the significance, or is it just for jury show? The crystal on your forehead. Is there significance to that? Look, I'm marking myself. I shouldn't do that. Is there that's crazy. Is there a significance to that? Like what?
yes, yes. So in one so in we call it commonly we call it our third eye, but
Okay.
in some of the teachings that I've come across is actually referred to as our first eye. So basically it's just symbolic of our first eye. Our ucha is our first eye.
Ucha.
Yes.
Now, do you have to go through this training to actually embrace that? Like,
So
or could anybody could wear it?
anybody could, but again, it's like it's just being once you're conscious of it, if that's
Right.
something that resonates with you and you want to observe that, then you can, but you don't have to go through any type of um initiation or anything to be able to express that.
Well, it's pretty. It
Thank
really is pretty. I like it. I
you.
like it. I was like,
Thank
"Do you
you.
have to do something special?" I would look odd with it, I think, because people be like, "What is that for?" I'd be like, "I don't know. It's just I
Yeah,
like it."
it's just you wanna observe the fact that you wanna always tap into your intuition, that first eye, we call our third eye, but that intuition, your gut,
Mhm.
that's something
Yeah,
that
that
like
gut.
you see that before your eyes see it. You feel it.
Yes, you
Okay.
feel it. That is so true.
Absolutely. So again, it's your first eye, not your third eye.
Yep,
Mhm,
you feel something. You're like, "I don't know why, but there's just something."
mhm.
You don't know how relevant that is for me at this moment. But let me ask you. Now you have a baby girl.
Yes.
Now, are you going to well, she's gonna follow mommy, of course. She's gonna follow what you do because kids mirror what we do. So, are you going to try to get her to follow in your footsteps? You gonna let her have her own little journey? Like what?
I would definitely let her have her own journey because this is her life and her journey.
Right.
I will definitely enlighten her
Mhm,
with what I do know and
mhm,
try to pass on some of that wisdom that
mhm,
I've learned. But again, ultimately it's her path. So whatever she chooses, but I don't believe in I don't want to just indoctrinate her into any particular path. I
mhm.
want her to be a free spirit and to find her way.
Now here's a tricky question. Now, when she gets a little older, she go to school and all that, or if she's not homeschooled, but she's going to come across other kids. What if one day she randomly says, "Mommy, I want a hamburger Happy Meal"? How are you gonna get her that hamburger Happy Meal? Or
I'm actually not forcing a plant-based lifestyle on her.
Mhm,
Um I will allow her to make that decision when she's old enough, the same way I did.
mhm,
I wouldn't do that to her. So I personally wouldn't be taking her to fast food restaurants or anything like that. No,
yeah,
we're not
I'm
doing that. We're not that stuff is horrible. But
mhm,
and that's the thing, even in um some of the plant-based options that some of these like imitation burgers and things like that, they are terrible for your health. So I would more so um I would try to redirect her and give her some other options. So as she's growing up, just show her different options so that maybe she doesn't want that. But if she wants to try it, by all means, she's gonna try it one day.
Right. That
Yeah,
was
yeah. But
I think
if
that was
I feel like if I equipped her with enough information, she would be like, nah,
yeah, I don't
I don't want
yeah.
to go all the way there with it.
That was just a crazy question that popped in my head. Like, what if she
But no
like what
judgment zone. I
right.
mean, if she wants to experience it, she'll probably be sick and sitting on the toilet for a while after trying that. But hey, she's got to
It's
learn for
right, it's
herself.
her choice. Right. When
Yeah.
she gets a little bit older and can make her own decisions.
Hmm.
Okay. I respect it. Now the hair, we grew up. See, it's different for you guys, I think. I'm not sure. But growing up, I'm just starting, like I got my first blowout in almost 3 years. Now I'm looking kind of jacked. It was cute at first. It was cute at first. But I'm still embracing my natural hair because since like the age of 8, I was getting relaxers,
Hmm.
you know. So I'm sure you're going to teach her to love who she is, all of who she is, right?
Absolutely.
Now, what if she comes home? Because there's still some parents out there that believe in relaxing their kids' hair and doing all. One thing I hate is when I see a little 5-year-old with extensions. Come on, stop it, stop. The ones that have really short hair, but in time it's gonna grow. But it's who she is. Like, have your little afro and put a beret in it if you want to and be cute. But they feel like, okay, we have to do this, and they dress their little girls. That's my thing. Like little mini adults, right? And what if she comes home and be like, "Mommy, I want to wear that, and I want my hair to look like that." Like, I know we looking way down the road because your baby's a baby, but like, are you ready for those type of conversations?
Well, you have to handle it as it comes. And
Mhm.
what I want to do from even when she was in the womb, just give her those positive affirmations, encourage her, and just teach her to be proud and love herself for who she is, and
Right.
not hopefully succumb to those peer pressures. So it's more so in a matter of the conditioning, how I bring her up and what I pour into her.
Right. And I don't see her. She's just such a happy. Every picture you see, she's so happy. She just seems. I'm sure she give you the business sometime. I'm sure she do because she's a
Absolutely.
baby. But and that's Aunt Sis's great granddaughter. I can
Yes.
imagine. I can imagine. But I can see her having that self love because it illuminates off of you. Like you're so proud, and it just makes. I love being around it because I'm not around it much. So when I see you, I'm like, wow. Like she, believe it or not, and I never told you this, but just watching how you've embraced yourself over the years. Like I never had that. I could have never been that confident to do that. But like this is me. I am me. Like I am Mother Earth. I'm one with Africa. No, that could have never been me. I didn't have that. I
Well,
did. I
you
didn't
say
have.
it could never be you. It can be you
No,
because
no. Then I'm talking about then, not
okay,
now,
okay. Okay. Yes,
not
yes.
now. But when I was younger,
Okay. Got you.
yeah, not now. Now that's not the case. But yeah, so I give you much kudos to you for that. Now, that's the big thing. I don't now. How does I don't know if I should say a name or I am. How does Malkia? How does she deal with that? Does she
I don't know. I've never asked her.
Mhm.
Um, I
Like
am who
when you
I am.
change?
So
Right.
yeah, I am who I am. So yeah, I just I'm unapologetically me, and
Right.
that's all who I can be, because I remember as a youth, you want to fit in, you want
Right.
to have friends, of course, but then you start to realize a lot of people you think are your friends are not your friends. So it's like, you know what? Like, just be who you are,
Right.
and those people who are meant to be in your life, you'll vibrate to them. And
Right.
that's pretty much what I've been able to do. So I have so many different family groups. But I love it because
Right.
you have the people that you started out life with, and then you have people you met in school, grammar school, high school, then you have your college group of friends, and then
Right.
you have your post graduation group of friends, or associates. So I have a few different groups that I'm I love having those different areas of people that I can not only just tap into, but it's a genuine um
Genuine bond.
reciprocated friendship relationship. So
Right.
I love it.
Right.
So I can be with my tree huggers, then I can hang out with my sorority people. I can hang so I and I
Tree huggers.
yes, why not?
Be one with the earth.
Yes, absolutely.
That's awesome. That is. I mean, like I have like those people that are part of my life or on my different journeys. But thinking on it, I really you Nikki, there may be a handful of people like you. And you need people like you around because you bring us back. When we like go too far out, we can look at you and no, really, and watch and just be like, no, it's not about all of this. You can be your authentic self who you were created to really be, right?
Absolutely.
And still be accepted. If not, who cares? Earth, it's all about mind, body, soul, mind, body, soul, spirit.
Yep. Mind, body, spirit, however you
Yeah,
want to.
all of that, and you're tapping into all of it, which
Absolutely.
is
That's how
great.
you're able to um, have that balance.
Mhm.
That's where that balance comes from. Because think about it, and this is what I explain to people. If you're eating a lot of junk and you're consuming just a bunch of nonsense, alcohol, whatever it is, sodas, whatever it is, right? You really don't have a clear mind. Your consciousness your mind is fogged up. You're probably jittery and everything else. You can't you're a mess. You can't
Mhm.
really focus. So when your mind is clear, again, i.e., what you're eating, and again, that's not just food, that's people you're around, um, even what you're watching on television, what you're listening to on the radio, so on and so forth. So whatever you're ingesting, it's all affecting your mind. So
Right.
when you really are conscious of that and you clear that space, then now your mind is clear. Now you're making sure your body is intact. You're doing what you need to do because hey, we only get one of these. So you
Mhm.
have to take care of it. It's your temple. So how can you be abusing your temple? You say even no matter what path of spirituality you're on, most people, you hear your body is your temple and this, that, and the third. But then you look at how people are living and what they're doing, you're like, you're not really respecting your temple like that. So, and
That's a
then
fact.
yeah, exactly.
Fact.
So, and then that spiritual aspect again, it's like I was looking up because some people it's like, how do you define spirit? So I was like, you know what, let's see what the dictionary says. So the dictionary, and when it comes to spirit, it's the principle of conscious life, the vital principle in humans, animating the body or meditating between the body and the soul. So that's deep. Now
That's
dictionary version of what spirit is. So when you think about that, you need that balance between mind, body, and spirit to have really the fullness of who you are and to be grounded and to truly, hopefully, learn to master yourself,
Mhm.
because self mastery is what we're trying to do, right? We want to
Right.
be able to master ourselves and become the best version of ourselves. Hopefully, that's the goal. That's the
That's
plan,
the
right?
goal. Right.
And to really figure out what your soul purpose is here on this earth. And I'm not talking about soul like SOLE, like your SOUL, like what your true life's purpose is here while you're doing this time here on earth.
That's a great way to end this segment. It always goes back to that with me. I'm gonna have to look that up, and that sounds like something I have to even dig deeper into because that definition is that's a lot. That's a lot, and you can't have more of one than the other. You have to like have an equal balance of all three of
A
those.
balance, or if you want to think of the Trinity,
Right.
that's the
The
perfect Trinity, the
yeah,
mind, body, and the spirit. Yes.
right. That's
Yeah.
awesome. Well, before I let thank you so much. Before I let you go, is there anything you want to say? Because look, it's after 8 o'clock already. Is there anything? It goes quick, right? It goes quick.
Yes.
Is there anything you want people to know, like some depart with some wisdom on the people? Like what?
Um,
Anything?
hmm. I would say just again, this is a journey, not a sprint. And when it comes to having that optimal wellness, just do your part because there's only one you. So do what you can to show up to be the best version of yourself, pretty much. And if you want to again reach out to me, I know that you already mentioned the different avenues where people can reach out to me.
Yeah, and I
And
have your link tree up here also,
absolutely,
so they can find you everywhere. Right
yeah,
here, your link
I need
tree.
to update some things on the link tree. It's been a while. It's been a while,
Uh
so
huh.
apologies, but life
Life happens. Life
life
happens.
happened. It's been a
Right.
awesome year, and just love life.
Well, thank you so much, Miss Sayana. I appreciate you. And whenever I have a question, I'll just reach out because I don't know. I don't know. I gotta do better. I say that all the time. I gotta do better, and I just don't. Eventually I'm gonna do better. I have to. I'm getting up there. Um,
Absolutely. Hey, you can always work with me. Yeah, you can always work with me, and we'll get you to where you're trying to get to. But again, it's your journey. So,
yeah.
however, you have to show up for you.
I know. Like
Okay. If you have to show up for yourself and do the work.
yes, I have to do the work.
Have to do the work.
I gotta do that intern. I'll probably be the one taking the pills instead of eating the stuff. But whatever, I'm getting it in. I'm getting it in. So, all right, you guys. So I will put her information up again after the show. So if you want to reach out to her, be patient because she has stuff going on. She has a life just like you guys do. But she gave us a lot of food for thought. Food for thought. Um, you guys tune in next week. Next week we have oh Lord, that's gonna be something. Miss Christina Lester. Her son was murdered. Her son was murdered, and we're gonna probably talk about like the gun violence and yeah, that's it's gonna be crazy. So that's gonna be next Thursday, 7 o'clock. You guys tune in, eat right. Remember the Trinity, mind, body, soul, spirit, and you know better, do better. So Miss Ayanna Williams-Thomas, thank you so much again. We appreciate you. Appreciate you. and I love you. So you guys have a wonderful night. Thank you, family, for tuning in. My Jersey family. I love you guys.
Lessons.
All right. Bye bye now. Good night.